course, DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another stream. Today we are doing the Bounce Jackerz and Friends Aftermath. It's a little while since we've done an Aftermath because it's been a little bit of a while since I've done a gig. Had a little bit of if you've watched previous streams, you'll know that this year has significantly been a little bit quieter compared to other years. But you will be pleased to know that it is actually starting to pick up a little bit. And September is quite a busy month, actually. I think I've got around 3 bookings in September, which is really good. And they're kind of like all like the weekend after each other, which is really, really good. Actually, I tell a lie. There's actually there's 2 that are on the same weekend. One is the Friday, one is the Saturday. So that is actually really, really exciting. And then there's one that is like mid-September. It's like the week after. It's like, like the 13th, 14th of September kind of thing. And it's in that sort of, it's in that sort of second week of sort of second, third week of September when we have that booking as well. Not announced yet. Really exciting. So we are sort of slowly starting to pick up. There's a couple in August. We've got one in July as well, and there's another one to happen this month as well, which is quite exciting, and a potential one as well to happen a little bit also this month, possibly, but nothing fully set in stone yet. I just basically offered to cover for a DJ that could no longer make a night that was happening in Hull, to play like house and tech house. And lately I've been doing some TikTok lives and I've been playing a little bit of house music for a bit of a change, and I've been delving into some tech house and some house music, and I've also been producing some house music as well, because I love my bounce, I love my hardcore, but I want to kind of like, because I can play all these different genres, but I don't play them enough like outside of like gigs and things. So like, if there's somebody's like after a DJ to play house music, I'll often say I'm available and I do play house. But when it comes to like doing live streams and doing like TikTok lives and things at home, I don't delve into house music very much. And I say that I do all these different genres, but I don't push myself to really show people that I do all these different genres. So I'm trying to delve into spinning like house music and things just a little bit more alongside spinning bounce, and I want to get into doing some garage and stuff and some bass line, and I even want to delve into doing a little bit of D&B as well, some hard trance and stuff. So just getting myself out there for some different genres of music. But anyway, we're doing the aftermath of the Bounce Jackerz and Friends that took place at the weekend, and we're just going to kind of speak and recap about kind of how the event went. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I had a really fun time. The event was a little bit on the quiet side. Now, there was an event that was at the same nightclub the following week, and that was relatively busy. And this weekend coming, there is a big festival on, and then that nightclub where I played is hosting the after party for it. So it was kind of a little bit expected that it would be a little bit quiet, because people will be obviously going to the festival, and then also people were at the event that was on the weekend before. So I didn't expect it to be like absolutely mega busy. So it was a little bit on the quiet side. We had a few people in. It seemed to get a little bit busier sort of later on in the night. So when it got a little bit later on, sort of into sort of like midnight to the early hours, it started to get a little bit more busy. But again, it wasn't what you would call like really busy. But the people that were there had a really good time. The vibe was enjoyable. People was enjoying the music, and that is kind of the main thing. Like, we were entertaining the people that were there, which was really good. And I had a really, really good time. I just kind of played a bit of anything. When we were a little bit quiet, I just kind of thought, do you know what? Like, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and I played quite a few of my own tracks, and I enjoyed playing a few of my own tracks. It was nice to get behind the decks, and it was nice to play some of my own material, and it was a little bit of fun. I enjoyed playing my own material, and just had a little bit of a good time, really. Went on my motorbike to the gig, which that was actually more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Now, I was absolutely like, I'll be honest with you, in terms of like the whole gig, like I was actually at one point thinking there's a possibility that I might actually have to pull out from the gig. So basically, my friend who often comes to a gig with me, if he's got nothing on, had a wedding on. So that was kind of like already the first kind of hurdle in the works. And then the plan was to go on my motorbike. However, the battery had gone flat while I'd gone on holiday. We wasn't certain if the battery was going to be like knackered, or if it would be all right once it had charged. So literally, I think it was about a week ago, nearly. I took it off the bike, took it to my friend's house so he could charge it, and then literally, on the morning of the gig, he brought the battery back to me on his way to the wedding, and I put it in the bike, and it started up, which was really, really good. It was really promising. So started it up, let it run for a little bit, put it back away, because obviously where I live, I store it like in a lockup, like it's locked up in a shed. Well, it's locked up in, like, it's almost like a brick shed, like a bike shed, and it's got a big door on it, and it's all locked. Because, like, like, it's the safest place to keep it. And obviously the gig wasn't till night, so I didn't want to leave it outside all day. Like, just because obviously, like, I'm not going to be on it all day. Like, I had, like, tunes to sort of like get ready for obviously to take to the gig. I had 101 other things I needed to do, and before obviously I could think about going to the gig. And obviously you're not going to set off at dinner time to an event that doesn't even start till 8 at night. So I put it back away, and then there was kind of the worry of, like, if the battery's not completely right, will it then start again, like after it's been sat again for a couple of hours? I took it out the shed. It was a tiny little bit temperamental to start. It's almost like it just didn't want to start like instantly, and like the dashboard and the screen kind of like flickered for a few seconds, and then it started. And then I rode to the petrol garage because I was completely out of fuel. I had no petrol, and then basically I had to go and get some fuel, and then I thought, just to give it a little bit of a ride and make sure it's all right for tonight, because obviously nighttime I'm taking a bit of a longer journey. So I thought I'll ride to a shop and get a drink. And you're probably asking, like, why didn't you just get a drink at the petrol station? Well, petrol stations, I don't know what they're like where you are, but they charge like really daft prices for a drink. So, for example, I can go to, say, like, I can go to a shop called, I think it's One Beyond, in Hull, and I can get like a bottle of Coke, and it's a quid. I can pay a quid for it. To get the same bottle of Coke in a petrol station, you literally paying like £2.25, or like £2.10p, depending on which petrol station it is, and it's extraordinary. And like I say, I wanted to give the bike a little bit of a run. So I did that about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I left it outside, parked up, and luckily one of my neighbours who has a flat where the window can see out to the bike said that he would keep an eye, he'd just keep an eye on it. He'd just have a look out of his window every now and again and check that it's all right. And obviously I put an alarm and put locks on it and things, and made sure that it was all that it was all good, that it was all gravy, and everything was all good. And then I came back, got ready, really, got ready for the gig. Had some tea and stuff, got in the shower, got myself ready to go. Then my friend actually was coming back from the wedding, and he was like, because I wasn't on till 11, and he was actually debating like whether to just take me, like thinking like I might actually come. But I was like, you've been working all day, don't overdo it. You're not booked or anything, there isn't really a point for you to come. Not that I didn't want him to come, like I like him coming to these gigs, but I just kind of felt like he would be overdoing it. And I just thought, I wasn't expecting it to be like, this spectacular night. So I was just kind of a little bit like, that there isn't really a point. And you've come to this venue with me hundreds of times anyway. So I set off on the bike. I actually set off quite early because I thought my bike is a little bit slow. Like when you get onto dual carriageways, like like the max speed that you can do on a dual carriageway is 70. And then obviously like my bike does sort of like 60 to 65. And if there's a little bit of an incline in the road, my bike goes quite slow. Actually, it goes to about 55 mile an hour, 54, 55, and it can be a little bit annoying if there's just a little bit of a slope up. Just a real little incline, it can really kind of like drop the speed on the bike. So I thought, like I'm gonna take a little while to get there, but I actually ended up getting there quite a lot quicker than I thought I would get. And then literally I just decided, you know what, like I've set off now, I'm well on the way, so I'll just carry on going anyway. And yeah, I got there probably, I think I got there about 8:30 or something like that. I was a little bit surprised. It was like 8:30, maybe 8:45, or something like that. That I got there or something like that. It was like 9:15 or something. First DJ was just finishing his set, and then the bounce jackers went on, and then it was just like literally on from there really. And I stayed until about, I'm trying to think what time it would have been. I think if I remember rightly, it was around, I think it was around like 20 past 1:30. I think it was around that time when I went on. Or it might actually, no, I think I'm telling you a lie here. I think it was 20 past 2 when I left. It was around 20 past 2:30 when I left, because I went on at 11, and then Dangerous Dave went on at midnight, which I just want to say he absolutely annihilated his set. It was one of the best sets I've seen for a long time. With bounce music, he was just absolutely killing it. And the mad thing about it is he was texting in the group chat during the day, and like asking what the equipment was and saying like I've never been on an XZ before, and we were like it's just similar to an RX2, all the rest of it. He just went on and annihilated it like it was nothing. He just absolutely killed it. I won't lie to you. And then yeah, basically, that was kind of like the score. That was kind of how it went. And then literally, we went and got some food after that. And then went back to the club. Gareth Davis was on, absolutely annihilated the show. Did Gareth Davis. went on at 1 o'clock. We went out and got food. Then Joe Dunn went on at 2 o'clock. And then it got to about 20 past 2, and I was just kind of thinking, do you know what? Like, I love it. I love being here. I'm enjoying the vibe, but like, I have got to ride back. Like, I've got to ride back home. And I thought, do you know what? Like, I need to ride home. And I just thought it's going to be quite cold. Luckily, the weather held off. It didn't really rain, so that was quite a good thing. It took me a while to leave because there was a couple of girls that had, let's just say, one too many. And they're in a little bit of a merry mood, and one of them wanted to sit on my bike and get photographed. And then, like, when they just don't think what they're doing, and you can just like full on picture them getting on the bike and then falling over with the bike. So like, I had to hold it while they sat on it, and then she got a photograph sat on the bike. So that photo of my bike could go anywhere now, on the internet, of her on a night out, sat on a motorbike. And then I eventually got her off the bike. And they were like, "Come on, he needs to go home now. He's ready to go home." So I get on it. I get my helmet on. I get zipped up. I get ready to set off, and then like, just basically, as I'm about to set off, the woman's friend who sat on the bike wanted to rev the bike. I was like, all right then, you can rev it just once, and she fucking like redlined it. Like, she just full throttled it. And I was like, all right, don't rev it that much. And then I literally just shot off. I had to shoot off. Otherwise, I was never going to get away. But then again, the weird thing was, I seemed to get home really quick. Like, once I got onto the motorway, the A180, I think it is, it just seemed to like, obviously, like, getting out of Grimsby was no issue. It was like really quiet at that time of night. There was nobody really about. So I was a little bit like, oh bloody hell, there's no one really about. So I got out of Grimsby really quickly, and then it was just a straight run on the M1, the A180. One little issue I did have was I went to put my visor up at a set of traffic lights, and it unclipped at one side. It wasn't like rattling or anything, so I wasn't sure at first if it had actually unclipped, and I was just like, do you know what? Like, I cannot be bothered to pull over now, and to like, stand in a lay-by trying to sort it in the early hours of the morning. Plus, when you don't, there's always a lot of animals about at that time of night as well. And some of them lay-bys as well, they're really like full of litter. Like, there's rubbish everywhere, and it was actually quite disgusting how much they were full of litter. And you can always picture like foxes and rats and things are obviously going to like scavenge for food and stuff, and like I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I don't really like foxes, and I don't like rats. Like, foxes for me, like, I've seen videos of foxes when they attack, and they say like foxes don't really attack, but foxes can attack. Foxes can actually be really vile and vicious to you, and especially rabid foxes. So like, if they've been infected with rabies, they go absolutely, they're insane. They're like a whole different fox. And I've seen one that's going at a video of one going at a conservatory window, and I just don't like them. I'll be completely honest. I'm not that keen on them at all. I remember once coming back from a friend's house, and I'd got a bus into the train station, and then I'd come out the back of the train station, and it was dark, and there was a fox down just a little side alley near the train station car park, and I came to it to go down that alley, and I just saw it stood there, and it just gave me the most evilest look ever. Like, it did not want me to go any closer, so I turned around, and I tried to just walk away quickly. I thought if I start running, it's just going to rile the fox up and it's going to more than likely want to chase me. Now, 9 times out of 10, foxes don't bother you. You know, they're more just, they want food and you can feed them and you can get foxes actually to be all right to you. But personally, I just don't like the fact that I know that they can attack. It's the same with bees. A lot of people say like, "Oh, bees only sting you when they're riled up and stuff." But like, I've never liked bees. I've never liked wasps or bees. Like they're just something that I'm not a big fan of. Like if one came in through this window now, like I'd have to vacate the room. Like I do not like them. So I would literally just vacate the room, and then I'd be like, I'm having nothing to do with these foxes or these bees. I don't like them, and it's just knowing that they can attack. Like it's knowing that they can. But then like dogs can bite, so like why aren't I scared of dogs? I don't know. But anyway, so I got home like really quick. Um, and I just seemed to, like I say, once I got onto that dual carriageway on the motorbike, I was really quickly getting home, and then I got back to the Humber Bridge, and then I was like, bloody hell, like going down the bypass was really quick, and then I got to the turn off to where the Humber Bridge was. Like so, like you turn off for the Humber Bridge, and then you go down like another dual carriageway. I just seemed to get there really quick. It was just crazy. Where am I from? I'm from Hull. I did just say Humber Bridge. It's in the title. And then I think I was home from about 3:30 in the morning. Put the bike away. Went in. More or less went straight to bed. Woke up. I got woke up about dinner time yesterday, because I'd said to my granddad I'd go through and see him on at the Sunday because I couldn't go on the Saturday because I had the gig. My granddad obviously doesn't realise, bless him, he just thinks, oh, I'm coming on Sunday. And then it got to dinner time and he's like, well, I've not heard anything from him. But what he doesn't understand is I'm getting in at like 3:30 in the morning, and then I'm going to bed. So obviously I want to get a good few hours sleep. So he woke me up about 10 to 12. And I woke up and I was not ready to be up, I'll tell you that. But he rang me, and then I was like, bloody hell, it is 10 to 12. So when he rang, I did sort of stay awake, and then I got myself going and pulled the bike straight back out, and then rode all the way to Driffield and spent the Sunday with him. And I was absolutely battered, and I caught a little bit of a cold. I think I got a chill on the bike, and it was just like I felt really crap. And then last night, I think I was asleep, but like I was in a bad way. Like I had a really bad headache. I really didn't feel well, and I really just didn't feel good. And then like I dosed up on medicine and stuff, and then today, like I feel a bit better than I did, but like I'm not like in a horrible situation. Like I'm not 100%, but I'm not horrible. I feel better than I did. But I'm gonna dose up again before I go to bed. And yeah, that was Bounce, Jackerz and Friends. It was a really enjoyable gig. Just a shame it was a little bit quiet. But like I say, there is a festival on in the same town this weekend. It makes sense. Everybody's saving themselves for what is going to be an amazing festival, I would imagine, along with the after party there, stuff like that. So that is obviously enjoyable. Yeah, but with that being said, still an enjoyable time. The other sets were absolutely banging. I enjoyed myself. It was a bit of fun. It was good to play out again after not playing out for a couple of months. I think it's been. I'm trying to think. The last time I played out, I think it was the kids' rave. I think it was early April when I played out, and then I was supposed to have one late April. and it got cancelled, and then I was supposed to have another one in April that had also got cancelled, and it was just like, oh God, like this is just not good. So with that being said, it had been a little bit of a while, and I'm glad that things are slowly starting to pick back up again. This year has definitely been a little bit of an eye-opening, sort of a different year. Like I've not had. I'll be honest, like, I don't want to put a downer on things because I'm not usually really a negative person, but I have had a few little negative situations this year where I've not been, in the best situations, gigs and things getting cancelled, and dates getting moved, and family members obviously passing away as well, as has been not been a good one either. And the year, because we had such a good year last year, like I really could not complain about last year. We had a gig. We had like at least one gig practically every month of the year, whether I was going to Fusion or doing something in Hull or going over to the Book in Driffield, or there was always something happening, and it was a really, really busy year. And then it just all of a sudden this year just kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worst. And I think like I say, I'm not a negative person, but I've made a few mistakes myself, and I think some of what's happened has been karma. I will be completely honest. I do think some of what's happened has been karma. There's a couple of mistakes that I've made towards the back end of last year. There was a big mistake that I made towards the back end of last year. And I did my best to try and resemble it, but I knew that what I'd done was a bad thing, and I knew that there would be some form of karma to come for it. I just didn't know what it would be, and then I just had this like really horrible year, and then I've just made like a couple of other smaller mistakes. And then I made like only just recently I made a mistake actually, where I know I'm gonna get some karma for it as well. My intentions were I had intentions, like good intentions, and then the intentions kind of it was a little bit of a tough one, but basically towards the back end of last year, I got myself and the layman. I got I got us a booking on Mad Friday, and we did an absolutely amazing gig. And me being a stupid me, I didn't negotiate the fees properly, and then there was a little bit of an argument around the fees, and we didn't get paid for ages. And I had to do a lot of resembling, and it was kind of my own fault because I didn't discuss them properly. So I kind of take the responsibility for it, and I felt really stupid, like, because I just got so excited about doing the gig because it was quite a big gig for us. I was really excited, and I'd originally got this gig, and I wanted the layman to host me. That was the whole dealio of it, and I got really excited, and I just wanted to have him on board, and I just got more excited about what we're going to actually do at the gig and what we're going to bring to the gig, that I actually forgot to like really negotiate the fees properly, and everything was kind of like quick, and it was in a voice note, and then like half of the messages wouldn't load, and I knew that I'd messed up. I knew there was some form of karma, like it got resembled in the end, but like I knew there was some form of karma to come from it, and I was a little bit like, I wish I hadn't done it, like I wish I hadn't done it, so I knew there was something to come from that, and then there was one just recently, where basically it was a friend's birthday. To cut the story short, it was a friend's birthday, and I'd just been away on holiday, and I'd just come back off holiday, and I'm having a really bad financial situation at the moment, like really bad, and with not having as many gigs coming in, it's like really crippled me. So basically, where I live, supported living place, right? But because I work a 15-hour job, I think it's raining quite fast. Because I work a 15-hour job, the housing benefits basically refuse to pay, and then basically the like job centre, they also refuse to pay. So I have to pay like really sky high rent, and then I pay sky high council tax. And then of course I've got things like a bike on the road, bike insurance, gas and electric. So by the time I've paid all of them, I'm getting pretty skint. And it becomes a struggle. Sometimes I don't go the full month without running out of money. That's literal truth. Like last week on Tuesday, I ran out of money. My card declined. I had to have some money off an auntie. It was kind of like a little bit of a last resort thing. Just at the time because I'd gone to get some shopping, my card declined. And like I'm in a little bit of a predicament where like I don't like because I love the job that I do. I absolutely love the job that I do, but like with not getting help with the housing benefit and with not getting help with the job centre and getting help with the rent and stuff, it really is it cripples me now. I got the rent reduced slightly, but it's just I haven't like it's a real struggle once all the bills have come out. It is a real struggle, and like I say, I'm often kind of like running out of money before I get like through the month, which is quite an annoying thing. So I'd come back off holiday, and basically I had practically run out of money. Like I'd done a bit of spending while I was on holiday, and then I just basically I was quite skint when I got back off holiday, and I had just over a week to go until I got paid. So anyway, it was a mate's birthday, and cut the story short, I'd gone to meet him on his birthday, and normally I'd buy him a bit of food for his birthday. Normally I'd buy him a bit of food, I'd get him a present, I'd buy him a bit of food. He normally does vice versa when it's my birthday. And it'd come to his birthday, and I couldn't afford to get him food, and I felt absolutely terrible that I hadn't got him any food. I felt absolutely shocking because I normally do, but I couldn't afford to do it. Like I had a couple of quid to my name to get something to eat myself, like to eat out with him on his birthday, because I thought like I've got to get some out with him. So I got like the cheapest thing on the KFC menu, just so I could have something to eat with him. And then anyway, I'd gone to meet him, and we'd met another friend, and she'd got him this bag, and it had all these gifts in it. And she'd like got him loads of like little birthday presents, and then it came like he'd opened them all, and it was like, right then, Noble, what have you got me? And in the moment, I hadn't got him anything, and I felt like the worst person in the world because I hadn't got him anything. And at the time, because this other person was present in the room, I didn't want to say like, oh, I haven't got you anything, because it makes me look really, really stupid. And it makes me look like a terrible friend. Because I'm thinking this person doesn't even work, and they've managed to get him all these gifts, and I couldn't get him anything. So the first thing that popped into my head was, I've ordered you something online, it's not arrived yet. And I didn't do it out of badness. I didn't sit there and think, right, what am I going to say? It was just kind of like I got asked on the spot. The first thing that came to my mind was, I've got you something online. So anyway, to cut the story short, I waited till I got paid, and then I went and got something in town and made it look like I'd got it online. And I didn't, like, it sounds a bit of a terrible thing to do, which it is a terrible thing to do, but like the intentions wasn't terrible. Like I didn't plan to do this terrible thing. It was just kind of like I felt bad because I hadn't got him something, and I didn't obviously tell him, and I made him think that I'd got him something online, and then he received this gift, and it was just horrible. Like I just messed it all up, and he could just obviously tell that I hadn't got it online, and he was like really upset with me, which obviously he was bound to be. And my intentions wasn't like in the first place, like I didn't want to lie to him, but at the time, because this other person was present, I didn't want to obviously like make myself look stupid by like I haven't been able to afford to get you something. So that's kind of like I didn't want to say it in front of the other person, because like like I trust this friend quite a lot, so like I do tell him about my financial struggles, but it's not something that I go like saying to loads of people about it, like, you know, and I don't air it in front of friends that are, you know, possibly like going to gossip it around. I mean, I've just said it on a live now, but like I haven't gone into like the full detail of it. So like obviously, you know, I didn't want to say it at the time. And then like I should have obviously like later on when that other person had gone, like I should have just been like honest with him, and I should have said, look, you know, look, I haven't got enough money to get you anything, unfortunately, but I didn't want to say at the time, so I just said I've got you something online, but you know, when I get paid, I'll treat you to a meal or something. I should have done that. But like everything just got in the moment, and then we got talking about various other bits and bobs, and before you know it, a few days had passed, and then it got to payday, and I thought, well, hang on, like if this parcel doesn't arrive, then obviously like I'm gonna look stupid, so I'm gonna have to do something. So then I decided to get you a little, you know, I decided to get him a gift in town, and it was a nice gift, but it was a bad gift at the same time. Like it was just rushed. It didn't look good. And then I just hadn't, obviously, you know, I'd rushed it really. So I felt bad, and obviously, you know, I know I've got karma. I know there's karma to come from that. So that was kind of like, you know, I've messed up a couple of times. Hold my hands up. I state that I've messed up. Obviously, I apologise for messing up, and I aim not to mess up again. Obviously, I don't want to mess up. That's not the type of person I am. However, like, you know, I just, you know, I made a couple of mistakes, big mistakes, that I plan to never make again. I know now in the future to always discuss discuss the fees when taking a booking. Or what I tend to do now is I tend to send the promoter to the other person themselves to sort the booking out, rather than come straight to me, if that makes sense, rather than do it all through me. I can decide what I charge, they decide what they charge, and then it's not me getting anything wrong. And if I do get it wrong, I've got it wrong for myself and not somebody else. So that's obviously the score. And then obviously I know now, for like birthdays, like I've just got to be more prepared as well. You know, with going away and everything, like I know it sounds really like terrible of me, but I kind of forgot. And I was like, and then I realised like, oh, it's actually coming up. And I had a look while I was away on holiday, but we'd gone on motorbikes, and I couldn't fit anything in the bikes, because like we were limited to storage. So like if I got something, it was like really awkward to bring it back. You know, unless it was literally like something you could fit in your pocket. Like there was no way I was getting it in my bag. So it was a little bit of a bad one on that score. But yeah, it was horrible. And I hope to never go into that situation again. So there we go. But anyway, Bounce Jackers and Friends, really, really fun event. So we're going to leave it there for now. The next event is we're back at Chain Reaction in about a month's time. It's just over a month away, unless something comes up. Oh, actually, no, I tell a lie. I'm doing a private party the night, 28th of June. I'm doing a 50th birthday. So that one is going to be one to look out for. That's one to stay tuned for. And you know, I'll get some videos. I'll try and get a little bit of a documentation of it. Yeah, it's somebody that I've actually done a party for before, so it's exciting. And they, like, I often see them on Facebook like looking for DJs, and I'm like, why don't you just get in touch with me? Like, you booked me before. So when she put it this time, I was like, I could really do it, because when it comes to like birthday parties and weddings, I don't take them bookings all that often because for one, them speakers have like literally had it. And I'm on the hunt for like I got some new ones, but they were no good, so I had to send them back. So I'm kind of on the hunt for new ones. And I saved up some money for them. And I bought these speakers, and I'm literally to like I think today, like stroke tomorrow, like Tuesday, whatever you want to call it, like I'm due to get refunded. Like it's just processing and it's waiting to land like in my bank. And then I've got to decide like what speakers I'm gonna go for next, like what's gonna be the next speakers, and I've got no clue what to get, like because I'm very limited on the budget side of things. So like I want something like more or less around the same as what I've got now because that's like literally what I can afford. But anyway, with that being said, we will have to see. So I don't take a lot of them type of bookings, but this time I thought, you know what, I'm gonna like say that I am available on this date because it's really good. So I did, and then lo and behold, they got in touch. They left me a message. Did the woman, and she was like, what's my availability and price? Obviously, since the last time I did a gig for them, I had ever so slightly gone up in price, but that actually didn't bother them. I thought maybe because of what I charged them last time, I thought maybe because the messenger chats reopened again. I thought that maybe they would go back and look, and then they'd be like, "Hang on, you're more than last time," and they maybe wouldn't want that. But they were absolutely fine. And then she was actually saying like, we loved it last time. We had such a great time. And all the rest of it. And I was like, well, then how come, like you've been after DJs before. So like, why haven't you like, got back in touch with me again? And that was kind of like the whole kind of like thing about it was like, like, why haven't you got in touch? And then with that being said, it was like they were really looking forward to me. So 50th birthday, starting off with some like older music, and then they want to go into a bit of clubland for the younger people. And I'm like, clubland I can definitely do. So we've got that. And then we've got Chain Reaction. I believe I think it's on the 18th of July, or something like that. Really looking forward to that one. Then we've got the big Clubland on the 1st of August. And then we've also got the book in August as well. And then we go into that September where we have 3 bookings. So one of the bookings is in Hull. It's just a nice little local one. The second booking, I will be sharing that one very soon. Exciting. Going back up north. So that's exciting. And then I'm over in Doncaster, sort of mid-August, mid-September, sorry. Going back over to Doncaster for a new event. And then we're just going to see, I guess, where the rest of the year kind of takes us from there. But some exciting times. So with that being said, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, all of that good stuff. And we will see you on another stream.